What's going on, everybody? It is Matthew Schnoes, the Gold Crease Guardian, and I'm here with a very special video about the BAUER HYPERLITEs, so let's get right to it. BAUER HYPERLITEs, I'm really excited, goalies. I have been interested in BAUER a little bit since the 1X, really, since that first Vapor pad came out. It was supposed to be a more hybrid, softer kind of pad with a firmer feel, better sliding, and all the tech with BAUER just kind of really interests me as a gearhead and a bit of a tech nerd. So for me, this has been something a long time coming, and I want to have a special thanks out there to Pirani's Hockey World for their demo program. I was able to get two Pirani's, rent the set of pads for about a week, get them on the ice a couple of times. It was fantastic. I'm hoping I can do a couple more tests with other sets of pads that Pirani's has. Also, a special thanks to my buddy Jay at Casterly Kinetics and Skills. You can check him out on his Instagram. I'll link that down in the description below. He was one of the people who helped me get some ice and get a little bit of work in the pads. And he also does some great training and has some awesome drills and insights on his page. So why don't you go ahead and follow him too. So let's get to the pads and the glove and the blocker. I'm really excited about this. It was, like I said, it was a long time coming. I've wanted to try this stuff for a while. There was a lot of stuff coming in that I was unsure about. And so now getting to test it for myself was really exciting. I want to jump right in and start with the blocker. Now, a lot of people will say a blocker is a blocker. I disagree with that. There's a lot of different points when it comes to hand position and balance and the blocker board itself that I think make a big difference in a blocker. Blockers are very, very important to fit how you want them to fit. I really used to love my Vaughn V3 with a thinner blocker board, and this kind of reminded me of that. The thinner blocker board with the curved composite in it to help it keep its shape and stay durable over the life of the blocker, I thought was really, really nice. Their rebound boost core, which supposedly makes a larger sweet spot in the blocker, so I'm assuming that's just faster rebounds out of more places of the blocker, which I actually noticed a little bit. I had a couple in the skates that I did and the game that I played that got me high on the blocker board and actually shot out pretty fast, which I was impressed with. I know that my CCM, it dies quite a bit there. The molded cuff on the back was very nice, very large, very mobile, allowed me to present my wrist really well. I was very, very happy with that. And the new palm dimensions for me were one of my favorites. A little bit tighter fit. From what I understand, they took it off of the 2X Pro player glove, so it's a little bit tighter fit and feel, which is excellent for me. Really nice control over the blocker that way. They've got adjustable fingers on the back, which is a nice little touch, and a very stiff sidewall, which was great for sealing up, making sure there are no holes through the body. Really, I thought the blocker was awesome. Very well balanced, great for puck handling. The nice wide cuff makes it good for that. And just rebound control off the blocker was so nice. Tons of pop. And just directing pucks away from the net over and over and over again with a lot of speed, something that is very, very important because I talk about controlling rebounds a lot on the channel, and you can place them in the right spot, and sometimes because of how they come off of your pad or your blocker, they don't get far enough away. That wasn't an issue with this blocker. It was getting away and really firing out there. I thought it was an awesome blocker, and it was really something that I could get used to playing with very quickly and did. And so that's excellent, and I loved it. I would go back to it in a heartbeat. Onto the glove now. Again, features that curved composite. They're just working it for shape retention and durability. The gloves get beat up a lot, so they want to have something holding it there, which makes a lot of sense. They talk about having a better glove shape and a deeper pocket feel. It's a 60-degree break, just like my CCM eFlex 4 in the 590. It's the same break as that. They also have the XRD in the palm, which is the extreme impact protection to help reduce stingers. I didn't really catch any in the palm, so I didn't get a chance to really notice it or test it. For me, stingers are something that, you know what, it sometimes happens. They don't bother me. I've always been a game ready palm kind of person, not really big on the pro palms or anything like that. So for me, that's a nice feature, but it didn't really make a difference. What I did notice about the glove is the way that it's set up on my hand. So I feel that when I have my CCM, I feel that my hand is very deep into the glove. The hand is a little bit further towards the heel side of the catch glove in this model, but it didn't feel as crazy as some of the others. And one of the reasons for that for me was the amount of adjustability in the backhand of the glove. There's a lot of it. There's 3 really distinct areas where you can tighten down straps, which I did pretty significantly because for me, I want to feel that glove not really move on my hand at all. I don't like to have a lot of shifting around. So that was something that I found really, really nice in the glove itself. I will say that there was, despite the fact that it is the same break as a 590, that same catch angle, that fingers to the bottom of your thumb kind of closure, it felt to me like there was more space on the fingers of the glove beyond where my fingers were in the glove itself. I would equate it to different baseball or softball mitts. So when you're playing first base, you've got the big mitt that you scoop with. And then if you're playing shortstop or second, you need a little smaller mitt because you're getting down into the dirt with that glove, trying to get it in and out of your glove quickly to throw it. And so it feels like that glove cuts off right above your fingers. I would equate the CCM more to that shortstop glove and the BAUER more to that first base glove. There's just a little bit more on the outside of the fingers. It's not good or bad. It's just different. It took a little bit of getting used to for me. I will say that I did find on lower pucks I was able to scoop it very easy, which was great. And I really loved the glove. I could easily get over the extra finger space. It presents very large and very nice. The backhand and the cuff is very nice for that presentation as well, giving you lots of space and mobility. And again, puck handling, excellent. A really deep V for that stick, especially Turco style overhand like I play. Just awesome. Really good control. The pads, they feature the Core-Tec Plus skin. They feature the Stabiliflex knee right into the face of the pad. Little bit of flex to it, not quite as stiff as its counterpart in the Ultrasonic, where it's very, very stiff in that Stabilislide knee. Stabiliflex has a little bit of flex to it, and I mean, it exists for stability, seal, and controlled rotation, and I saw all of those things, and I'll get into that. There was also the balance plate on the shin and calf of the pad, which I thought was an excellent feature. Again, for better balance and for less stress on your joints, which I felt, and I'll come to that as well. A couple other things on the pads, the rebound boost core, just like you see in the blocker. TuneFit 2.0 strapping was awesome. The 100-degree boot, very flexible, very nice. Sits up on your leg just a touch, which I enjoyed. So I want to get to Stabiliflex first. It's a big thing, right? It's a big marketing thing. But I think that the premise is great. With my CCMs and with some other pads, as they break down, you start to feel that knee block and the face of the pad just lose connection a little bit. And as somebody who craves connection to their pad, that's a big deal for me. I want to feel that pad move where I move, put that pressure where I want it, and Stabiliflex let me do that. It was doing what I wanted it to when I wanted it. And as far as controlling rotation, 100% agree. If anything, I bring that pad up a little bit. I tend to lean back a little bit sometimes, but with Stabiliflex and being able to drive into the face of the pad and not have it roll at all, I was able to be a little bit more aggressive over my toes and over my knees, which is something that I talked about with goalies when I was coaching a lot. That also brings me to the balance plate on the shin. It levels out your leg and has it much flatter across the whole pad. And first of all, I've skated in my CCM since I skated in my BAUERs. The soreness that I feel after my CCMs did not exist after the BAUERs, which I think is very interesting. I would have to use them more side by side perhaps to know if that was a one-time thing. I don't know for sure. I would need to test more, but it's noteworthy right now. For me, the combination of StabiliFlex and the balance plate made it so that that pad was where I wanted, when I wanted it, and I could be aggressive. I like to be aggressive. I have an aggressive mindset in that, and I want to be able to make reactionary plays on my reads, and the pads were going where I wanted each time. It was something that I really appreciated. I felt that the pad was never behind me. I didn't feel it was hindering me at all. So those are all great things. Really, really great pads, I thought, during my testing. So I am going to go over, I've got 2 different areas that I want to kind of address with the gear, and then I've got an overall that I want to do as well. So I have on ice feel, I have the looks, and then I'll give you an overall score. On ice feel, we're going out of 5 here. So we're talking things like sliding, butterfly, catching with the glove, rebounds off of the pads and the blocker, how it moved, how it felt. I'm going 4.5 out of 5. Honestly, these were, if not the best pads that I've had on the ice, top 2 or 3. I mean, they were phenomenal. I didn't know how I would feel about the shin feeling a little bit stiffer. I actually would have liked a little bit stiffer on the very top, the thigh portion of the pad. Just, I prefer that single break kind of feel to the double break that the HyperFlex comes in. But for me, it was awesome. Sliding was phenomenal. I made a couple of saves that I know that I would not have got with my CCMs. And the adjustment was not as big as I thought it would be, which was a very nice bonus. Going into the butterfly, I could trust the seal. I knew what the pads were doing at all times. The pucks that hit the top of the pad actually bounced away still instead of trickling over, which is something I've noticed in my CCMs and other pads that are a little bit softer, so that was great. Catch glove felt phenomenal. Blocker felt phenomenal. Great rebounds off of the pads and the blocker, kicking them out of the way. I sometimes get a little bit lazy with my stick, so having the pads back me up is huge. Going on to looks. Now, this is a sliding scale for me. The standard HyperLite graphic for me gets a 3.5 out of 5. It's not my favorite. It's not bad. You can do some cool things with it, but I feel it gets a little repetitive with just the way that it's set up. And so for me, 3.5 out of 5, but Digiprint, like, you can do anything you want. So that right there automatically is a 5 out of 5. So I'm hovering between those two. I think that if I were to go with the HyperLites, I would try and come up with something really cool in the standard graphic. I know I've got a couple of ideas that I've kind of kicked around because it is cool, but it doesn't really do it for me. I would look into Digiprint as well. So overall, I am giving these pads a 9.25 out of 10. A great score. Like I said, this set is up there in the top 2 or 3 sets that I've ever used in my life. They are hard rebounds, they slide well, the boot is really soft, and I can feel super connected to the pad, which is exactly what I want from a hybrid pad, whatever that means nowadays. I don't know that I buy into that idea, but I can get into that in a separate video. Basically, for me, it does everything I want a pad to do. StabiliFlex was awesome. The balance plate was fantastic. It made the pad feel very connected and like a part of me that did not move or deviate from what I wanted to do. The catch glove, like I said, the only thing I would have to get used to is that finger size. But outside of that, right away, very usable, very nice catching. It felt great. The closure on my hand was awesome. Out of the box, it fit really, really well. So there's no complaints there for me. And on the blocker, very balanced. The tight palm really fit what I want. Great mobility in the wrist. So I really don't know what to complain about here. Overall, like I said, 9.25 out of 10. Phenomenal pads. Would I use them? Absolutely. I used them in a game already. I mean, I had them on the ice once, broke them right into a game, played really well, didn't feel out of place. That alone should tell you what I think you need to know about these pads. I'm very picky about how I operate with pads, and to be able to walk into a game, feel confident in the gear, and really just use it that night was all I could ask for from a set of pads that I had no idea what I was going to think going in. So in conclusion, for me, the BAUER HYPERLITEs are fantastic. I would really suggest, if you get the chance, if you're in an area with a Pirani's Hockey World, try and reach out to them, see if they have the ability for you to test out some BAUER HYPERLITEs. Maybe look elsewhere online. I think that if you test them out and you're a fan of BAUER already, you'll love them. If you're a fan of some softer, older style pads, you might be surprised, like I was, with just how much you enjoy them. So let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of BAUER? Have you used the HYPERLITEs? Have you used any of their previous pads before? This is the first time I've used their pads since the Reactor 6s. I had a Cujo style set, so yeah, it's been a while. But I was impressed. I hope that you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please let me know down in those comments below as well. And let me know what else you want to see out of a review. I'm hoping to do more of these with some more sets of pads. So let me know what you want to know about the next set of pads. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already. And I will see everybody in the next video.